Because here's the thing, I'll tell you about my direct experience. I've been out trying to sell 401k plans to wealth management advisors. And while there are some that certainly want to do it and do, the majority don't. And I get it. I mean, there's a lot more risk. There's a lot for them to learn. There's more regulatory bodies over them because now, in addition to FINRA and SEC, you add DOL and IRS, and the margins are lower. So, yeah, more work, more risk, less money. So I get why they wouldn't want to do it necessarily. But we talk about it all the time. In fact, I was at a conference last week. Every conference I go to, this is one of the main topics, the bridge to wealth and how we're going to bring all this together. So I want to know, are the wealth management folks talking about it like we do at all of their conferences? Like, how are they thinking about it? And what can we learn from that?
So yeah, it's kind of like the inquiring minds want to know what is going on over there. Yeah, well, it's a real it's a tricky question to answer, to be honest, because there's two sides to every story, as as we all know. Most advisors that are advising small and mid-sized businesses do that as their job. They consider themselves business consultants, and they broker a good 401k for them, and HR benefits and all of those things. And it's really been very divided, as you said, from wealth management, and separate conversations. What I see from my lens, and again, I'm on the board of Cerity Partners, on the board of Cetera, and also of Vestwell, and I've had 35 years, probably longer. I never say longer, but it is longer. Working in our industry, I've seen that you're right, Lisa. Most wealth management advisors really stick to wealth management and financial planning, and maybe a little bit of insurance, maybe a little bit of tax, but not really on the retirement solutions. And the big sticking point, there's a couple of them. One is, and I know everybody loves to say advisors are lazy, they don't want to do it. And Will and I talked about this before. It's not that they're lazy. I do not think advisors are lazy. In fact, I think there are very few lazy advisors out there, or they would not be doing what they're doing, because it's a million different things at once. But I do think it's a lack of confidence for how to get into this part of the business and do it well. I think that, they really, they're fiduciary to their clients, and they want to make sure that they do it, they have the right tools, the right staff, the right education to do it well. And retirement solutions is tricky. There's record keepers, there's payroll providers, there's all kinds of little integrations that need to be done. And if it's your first or second one, or you just don't really know the story of how to do it, it becomes daunting. You've got a million other things you're doing as a wealth manager. So I think there's that thing, and we can dig into that, and what tools are out there now to make it easier. But the other part of it is that advisors have a hard time thinking about, I think when they start to think about, okay, I'm going to do this 401k for one of my small business owners and implement it. Now I have their 25, kids in a lot of cases calling me for advice. This is not a good use of my time. It's a small, for those types of clients, they are much smaller accounts. Typically, they don't have a large amount of wealth, and it is a drag on their time.